It's good, man. I got a good solid 5 minutes with y'all. I just wanted to get in the light so I could get a good look at me. Feel me? It's recording. See a few punches in the face, you know what I mean? I'm going with the ruggedy. Been busy, man. You feel me? Winter time, you gotta grow your hair. Anyway, today's topic, as you can see behind me, no homo. Behind me, it's a door. You see the exit sign. So a door is simultaneously an entrance and an exit. You feel me? A door, according to the dictionary, used to be referred to as from a distance from one building to another. So I just left that building behind me, and I'm about to approach another building, and the door each will have its own address. So the door refers to one distance from another. The door is also a boundary, you see, from one distance to another distance. You see, the other one was red, this one is green, ironically. You know what I mean? Ironically, just to show you the difference in time, the colors was already placed in time already. So you can see the difference between the two. It wasn't even my works. It was already in time already. I couldn't even make it up. Anyway, so the door is a boundary. You feel me? If it comes to a building like that, if it's a business, it's a boundary that is set that tells you I am entering into this building. There's ways to conduct yourself when you enter into somebody's space. You feel me? Some people don't have a door in their mind. You feel me? It doesn't mean literally a door, but a boundary line. What is the door? What is something that you are willing to enter and also come out of? What do you have a limit set boundary? Some people don't have that boundary set. And if it's set, it is on shaky grounds. Just like that one passing by. They can't help themselves but to entertain something that they're irritated by. They don't have a boundary line where they can just listen and ignore. You see, it's a child. When a child does that, we excuse it. But we know that you cannot drive unless you of age, right? So that's not a child, that's a man. And yet he can't even contain himself because he doesn't have that boundary. He doesn't have, well, I can entertain this, I don't want to entertain that. I am a grown man, I don't need to pick. Like, you know what I mean? A boundary where you can actually control your emotions. But he's just a troll. He's trying to take away the message for himself, you feel me? Because they like my ideas because I think it over, then they want to take it for themselves. So when I start speaking on something that I come up with myself, they start, you didn't come up with that yourself. And I'm like, you're right, but that means that you trying to tell me that if I didn't come up with that myself, you still giving me credit that I'm a good student. That means I learned very well then. Either or, you're going to give me credit. You feel me? You can't have it all, my nigga. You dig? In California, you always got to watch yourself because it's all kinds of animals here that should not exist. For real. Anyway, you see, the door is a boundary, you feel me? Some people don't have the mentality of a door. If you do not have a door, that means you allow any and everything to come in. You feel me? Even the United States have borders, but yet they call it free enterprise. But there's nothing free about the enterprise itself. There is borders, there's rules of engagement on those borders and everything else. And when you break those laws, guess what? There's price to pay. But if you just have a country or a home without borders, then any and everybody can just walk in. You feel me? You can take a look at the Idaho situation where they had a situation where the house was a party house. So it created an atmosphere or a spirit of people just going in and out. So nothing was held accountable because it was a place of partying all the time. Feel me? Doors keep things in perspective. It does. It keeps things in perspective like, hey, you don't have a past. You cannot come through this place. You are not a friend of mine. You feel me? It keeps things in perspective. If you take the same idea of a door with a hinge or a lock on it, and you take the same perspective and you add it to your own life, then you wouldn't allow or behave or allow certain behaviors to come within your circumference where you just indulge in these things. You feel me? You'll be depleted after you finish indulging in these things. So you need to have an approach of a door where you don't just allow people to come. You need to state what kind of person you are. Oh, this is who I am. I'm a da-da-da-da. You feel me? I cut hair, I do hair, da-da-da. So that door represents your identity in some kind of shape, your profession. You feel me? So when people come to your door, because they know you have a door, because the door represents who you are as a person. They can't mistake it for that, because your door says it is what it is. It's telling you what it is. On top of the business and everything else, you spoken it out loud. A door is an action. You feel me? Literally, it's an action. It's an act. So even if it's not physical, in a physical form, because it could be a yard like this, no doors, no nothing, but it has an address. The address represents the door of that address itself. Represent the door of that address itself. You can't come on this property because you don't belong on this property. It probably say a private property, but there's no doors on it. But still, the address, somebody claiming it, gives it a door. So it's an action. You feel me? It's an act. So you act upon it. So people cannot come and violate once you have a door. But if you're the kind of person that think everything is owned to you, that you think somebody owns you something, you don't have the mentality of a dog. You always have the mentality of, you owe me, so I'm gonna come in and take it. Give me, and always reaching out, putting your hands out. I want, give me. You understand? Because they don't have the mentality of a dog. They don't have the security, the self-sufficient. You feel me? They don't have pride, like ownership of pride. They don't have none of that because they play in a victim's mentality. So they cannot possibly have a dog. Everything is out in the open. You feel me? They play the victims. Of course they do. They play the victimhood. So they cannot have a door. They don't have no security. Because if you don't have a door, you have no security at all. And your door doesn't necessarily mean has to be a locked door. It is just taken on, like I said, the yard. And I put my name and address on it. I'm saying, this is who I am. This is what I represent. It's just 25 acres of land. It is owned by da-da-da-da-da. Boom, that's all. Like, that's all the door you need, nigga. You can't come in there. The law protects it from that. Da-da-da. You feel me? There's rules in play. But we applying the same method to a person, yourself. The reason why I can go to any city and we find any dirtbag to attack me in any form or shape, because most people do not have that door mentality. They play victimhood. You feel me? They do. They play the victimhood. They feel like we owe them something, or I owe them something. I don't even know these niggas from a hole in the wall, but they know me, though. Feel me? I'm about to go to work. Anyway. Like right now, I'm about to go to work. There's a door I got to badge in to get in. You see? You need to apply the same things to yourself. You need to have security. That not any and everybody can just come in and tell you what to do. If you wasn't doing that a year ago, why are you doing that now? Because you're insecure, you're afraid. You're playing the ownership, victimhood. You feel me? This is what it is. You want to be seen? I've been seen so many times, I don't want to be seen no more. Nigga, I'm like, leave me alone. Nah, that's just the mentality. Leave me alone. You heard? Hold on, let me check the tire if I got it. Shit, I got a little bit. I'm about to go in. There's too many weirdos outside. You already know I was talking about doors. So you need to have a door mentality, you feel me? You gotta be on your door shit, you feel me? A few punches to the face, but it's all good, man. It look like we eating good. That's all it looks like. That change your perspective on how you see things. So the whole concept is door right now. I can keep going. It's the distance. I'm not gonna keep going. Fuck it. It used to be referred to as from one building to another, because each door had its own address. Then it just became the address itself. So you can see there's a history of how the definition have changed itself, and the attachments to the hinge and everything else, opening of doors, all this other things that goes through. Even security gates going through, being searched. All these things are a form of doors. I have to vet you before you come into my building. Even the universe itself, that was a form of a door. It was a door that opened where light came in. I know we spoke about that. I could go on for a whole hour, but I don't want to. I want to go relax, chill, and get ready for work. But the universe itself, when God spoke into existence, you feel me? He came into an entrance where there was a door. Spoke, let there be light. And light penetrate through the door and came into existence and created everything that we know now. As you can see, the moon, the stars, the cloud, and everything else, myself included, and every other human being. Some deserving, some don't. But it's not me to call. But this is what it was. That's what God said. That's why they said, knock and it shall be open. Seek and you shall find. And the other things. It's a knock and it shall be open. Seek and shall find. Ask and it shall be given us. All these things are a description of a door. You feel me? It is like a line, a boundary. It is the separation of two things. You feel me? It's the outside and the inside. It's the in and out. The yin and the yang. That's a door itself. Even the yin and the yang is a door. Because it wouldn't be a separation. It's the separating of two things. And the thing in the middle, something. The door is always there, but it's invisible. It's invincible. Nobody really glorified about the door. You can have a big gate, but as long as you're in the house itself, you forget about the gate itself. But it is the thing that keeps everybody else in check. The only people that break these kind of rules are labeled criminals or thieves. Once you cross over that line without authority, you automatically fall into that category. I ain't never met a criminal who wanted to be a criminal. They always want, you feel me? They always justify their behavior. You understand? Even when the angel approached Mary and asked Mary for Jesus to come into her womb, that was a permission. That was a door in itself. That interaction between Jacob and Mary, and telling Mary that, hey, you will be having a son, da-da-da. If Mary didn't want to, she wouldn't have allowed him to get in. So Mary's womb had a door, and a door was the conversation between her and Jacob so that Jesus can come into this world through her womb. That's a door in itself. I can find continuous ways of doors or so. This new year coming up, that's another door. We're about to enter into the year 2023. Leaving an old year behind, coming into something new. That's a door in itself. Coming into a new age, a door, a new growth, door. More problems, maybe, door. Anyway, I gotta go. The difference between my frown and my smile, those are doors too. You feel me? But I wanted to go into the real concept of why we all need a door. Hold on. There we go. I hate this shit. She just got through the door. You dig? It's very important that you need a door in your life, man.